All right. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to our admission talks for spring 2026. My name is Matt Hargis. I'm the Director of Recruitment here in the Office of Admission, and we're going to be hosting a couple of these throughout the spring. Hopefully, just an opportunity to provide you all with some good, some relevant information for some of the things that might be taking place as we move throughout the spring in preparation to start the fall semester. These are going to be housed on our YouTube page. And we'll be, of course, sending out an email link every single time, but you'll have access to them. You can go back and rewatch as much as you need to. So today, I'm proud to announce kind of our first one in preparation for University Housing Phase 3, which will be opening next week. We've invited our campus partners, University Housing, to join us today. So I've got Mr. Billy Blunt, Director of Administrative Services, who's going to kind of share with you some maybe common questions that they see every year when it comes to Phase 3. So, Billy, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a great day and enjoying this. We're just going to hit on kind of five common questions that we get asked during phase three and try to help you answer those. If there's something we don't cover today, please email us at housing.uark.edu. We'll be glad to answer your question to go through. So, first, let's talk about phase three itself. Phase three is roommate selection. It begins on February the 3rd at 10 a.m. Now, this phase is a little bit unlike phase one. This is not time sensitive. So if you wait and do it on February 5th, that's fine. February 6th, that's fine. We would like for you to do it within maybe the first week of it opening, but there's no immediate rush. So don't feel like at 10 o'clock on February 3rd, you have to jump in there and do it. Do it when you get out of school, whatever the situation is. So February 3rd at 10 a.m. will open up. During phase three, the only thing you will do is roommate selection. So you won't do room selection. You won't do anything else other than just that to go through in phase three. And then for students who are female, you will get a prompt in there that asks you whether or not you intend to go through sorority recruitment. This helps our team prepare for move in June and just building the number of time slots and getting everything ready to go for there. So it'll be a very just quick drop down yes or no question to go through. So first, let's talk a little bit about how to find a roommate. So you're going to have three ways that you can find a roommate in the third phase. The first one is you can take their workday ID number, type it in the search bar, search for them, find them, send them just like a Facebook request. They accept, and boom, you're a roommate pair. The second way you can do it is you can look for them by their profile. So if there is a specific profile, I'm in the band, I want an honor student, I want somebody going through recruitment, I want somebody who says they go to bed early, whatever the situation is, you can request, you can look at the people and you can filter by that, look at those students who are like, hey, very similar profile, something I'm interested in. You can chat with them through the system. You can also offer to be their roommate, whichever you would like to do to go through there. And then the third thing, maybe you just don't have a roommate request. Maybe you don't know of anybody, you're just learning. The system will provide roommate recommendations for you based on how you filled out the preferences in phase two. You can do that, and then you can look and search the same way for roommates to go through. Only thing we ask you a question is you're sending out messages to students, just make sure you don't send it back to the housing office at housing.uark.edu. Make sure that you actually are sending it to the student. One quick note about the group leader. It doesn't matter who the group leader is, if it's one or the other. It has no impact on room selection, has no impact on any other processes to go through. It's just the way the system is built to go through. So you can use that to go through. So let's talk about the roommate requesting situation and what to go through. So once you find your roommate, once room selection begins in round four, whoever contracted first, or you have a special preference such as honors, etc., will get the opportunity to select a room. Once you select a room, if you're paired up with a roommate, you can bring the other roommate into the room with you. Now, if you're in a living learning community, there are certain living learning communities that have specific holds and recommendations where you can only be a part of other people in the living learning community. Some living learning communities allow you to drag another roommate in who's not part of the community. It varies there. So you may see a very smaller pool of roommates to go through as you go through the process. One thing we want to talk about, this is probably one of the most common questions that we get to go through. What if I have four students and we're all interested in living together? Well, a couple things with that. First of all, you're only allowed to pair yourself up with one roommate request. So know that going in, you're only going to get one roommate request. Second of all, the number of spaces we have in our system that accommodate four people are not very high. So you may have a group of four, but that group of four probably isn't going to find a space together. So go in your mind now and think, I'm finding one roommate. That's where I want to go through to find a roommate to go as we go through. So if the four of you can find a space, maybe in the quad or the maples that's all open and you find it, maybe your room selection times are really close together, you can certainly do that. However, we will tell you you're not allowed to bully or push another student out to quote save a space. Fortunately, we see that from time to time. We'd ask you, there's not allowed to do that, but please don't do that to go through. We don't want to do that as we go through roommate selection. Other students have times we want them to be able to find the buildings that are first preferences as to go through the process to go through. Also, want to mention to you kind of the last common question that we get as we go through the roommate selection process is if I decide later to change my roommate or whatever, can I do that? And the answer is yes. So you can break your roommate bond just like you could, like you paired up. You can go through and break the bond. If maybe you have a friend who decided not to come that you paired up with, et cetera, you can break that bond with them. They will automatically send a message to the other student to let you know that they've broken the bond to go through with that. All of the messaging takes place through your UARK email address. So please make sure that you're checking that UARK email address that will allow you to confirm roommates, et cetera, as you go through the process to go through. So again, this phase is not time sensitive. It's not very hard. It should take you about 3 to 5 minutes maximum as you go through the process to go through. If you are in a living learning community, again, you may have a smaller pool of students as sometimes living learning communities only allow roommates who are also a part of that community. And probably, Matt, I would say as a wrap up, the number one mistake that people make typically is in phase two, it automatically opts you into roommate selection unless you uncheck the button that says do not include me in roommate selection. So probably 90% of the time when people call and say, hey, I can't find my roommate, if they'll go back to phase two, they opted themselves out of roommate selection. So they're not visible in the portal. Go back and make sure that's checked. If you can't find a roommate or they can't find you, that's generally the case that will find kind of give you the issue of what's going on.
Awesome. Thank you, Billy. If anyone does have a question, though, when phase three starts, maybe a quick phone number or an email address that you want to share with this group that they can reach out to the University Housing with.
Yeah, sure. Our phone number is pretty simple. It is 479-575 HOUS house. So you can call us there and then email us housing@uark.edu. Just know at 10 o'clock on the 3rd, it's going to be a little bit busy. So if you have an issue and you email, just a little patience there as they respond to email questions that as I go through, but we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. And again, probably just big thing, just remember you have one roommate request for sure. And if you can't find somebody, go double check to make sure that both of you have opted into roommate selection.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you again, everyone, for watching our video. Hopefully, it was helpful. Again, be on the lookout for some future options as we kind of move throughout the spring semester. I know we're going to do one, at least one with orientation, probably here in the coming week. So that might be the next one that you see. So, with that said, I hope you have a great rest of your day and go Hogs, everyone.
Bye.